All right, let me talk to y'all about what's quickly becoming one of the most fascinating quarterback situations in the entire NFL. And I can't believe I'm saying this. But yeah, I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns. And specifically, I'm talking about Shedeur Sanders. Now, let's rewind the clock a little bit. Because if we're keeping it honest, most of us thought Shedeur was going to be a first-round pick. That was the vibe. That was the buzz going into the draft. The name, the college tape, the pedigree. Everything pointed to a top 32 selection. And then, nothing. First round, he's not called. Second round, nope. Third, fourth, still nothing. It wasn't until the fifth round that we finally heard his name, and it wasn't even a team that desperately needed a quarterback. No, it was the Cleveland Browns, who had already taken a quarterback in the third round. I mean, what? The Browns go ahead and make this move that, to a lot of people, looked totally out of left field. And yet, they came out and said it was about value. They said getting Shedeur at that spot, fifth round, was incredible value. And you know what? They might be right. But when that pick happened, I think most of us figured, cool, he'll be a camp arm. Maybe practice squad. Maybe QB3 if he flashes. After all, he's a fifth rounder. And if we're talking about depth charts, he's not first, not second, not third. He's fourth. That's a steep climb. So, please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. And then the Browns coaching staff did something that absolutely flipped this whole thing on its head. They came out publicly and said, it's an open competition. 4 quarterbacks. Equal chance. That blew me away. Because let's be real. When does that ever happen with a fifth-round rookie? Especially one who's buried on the chart, behind a veteran like Joe Flacco, a former first-rounder like Kenny Pickett, and a guy you just drafted higher in Dillon Gabriel? But the coaches said it. And once those words left their mouths, my entire mindset around Shedeur Sanders changed. Now look, I'll admit it. When the pick first happened, I didn't think Shedeur would even make the roster. I'm being dead honest with y'all. I said, this kid's not gonna get the reps. He's not gonna get the snaps. He's not gonna get the shot. They've got too many other guys in front of him. They're not gonna waste time on a fifth rounder when they just brought in all this other QB talent. But then Shedeur started putting out tape. Now, it's not game footage, I know that. It's minicamp. It's OTAs. But you look at every single clip coming out. What do you see? You see touchdowns. You see dimes. You see confidence. You see a quarterback who looks like he belongs. And that's what's crazy, because fifth-round picks aren't supposed to come in and look this polished this early. And here's the thing. If Shedeur goes out there in preseason and plays the way he's been playing in these practices, if he looks anything like the guy we saw light it up at Colorado, then how do you not give him the keys? I mean, really, what are we waiting for? If he shows it, if he proves it, start him. Day one. Let the kid ride. Now I know some of you are going to say, whoa, slow down. He hasn't even taken first-team reps yet. And that's true. That's fair. That's a real concern. He hasn't. And that's where I tap the brakes just a little. Because yeah, maybe he's better off coming in off the bench. Maybe he needs to marinate a bit. But man, the upside, the juice he brings to this team, it's undeniable. And I'll say this too. Dillon Gabriel might have gone earlier, but if we're talking raw talent, it's not even close. Shedeur's got the arm, he's got the pocket presence, he's got the poise, and more importantly, he's got the it factor. You can just feel it when he throws. That's not something you can coach. And let's not pretend like this doesn't have some politics involved. I get that. Locker rooms have hierarchies. Coaches have to answer for draft picks. There's pressure to justify those selections. But I'm telling you, Shedeur keeps performing, and it's not gonna matter where he was picked. Because the tape doesn't lie. Even Deuce Staley said it. We're not in full pads yet. We're still in pajamas. But when the armor goes on, in the preseason, and it's real and it's live, we'll really know what this kid's about. And if he balls out, then it's decision time in Cleveland. So yeah, Shedeur being fourth on the depth chart. That's not because he's the fourth most talented. It's because that's how the league works. It's because of where he was drafted. But now that the coaches are saying, we're giving him a real shot, my expectations flipped instantly because if this really is an open competition and Shedeur's getting a fair fight, then I'm telling you, I think he's better than Dylan Gabriel. I think he's more dynamic than Kenny Pickett. The only guy with a real edge on him is Joe Flacco, and that's purely based on experience. I mean, Flacco's been in this league 20 years. You can't fake that level of NFL knowledge. But how long can Shedeur make up for that gap with his raw athleticism, with his instincts, with just flat-out talent? And here's why. The whole NFL world is suddenly talking about the Browns. I can't remember the last time Cleveland was this hot a topic in June. We don't usually talk about the Browns unless we're talking about a meltdown, or overpaying Deshaun Watson, or wondering when Myles Garrett's finally gonna demand a trade. But now, it's all about this rookie quarterback. And he's not even a first-rounder. He's not even a starter, yet. And that's why I'm telling y'all, this ain't normal. You've got a fifth-round quarterback who's turning the entire national spotlight toward a team that hasn't been relevant for 2 decades. That tells you everything you need to know about the impact Shedeur's having. And if he keeps climbing, from fourth string to third, then second, I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time. Eventually, he's going to be the starter. Maybe not week 1, maybe not week 4, but it's coming. Because talent like this, you can't keep it off the field forever. And at the end of the day, the Browns don't have time to waste. This isn't some powerhouse franchise that can afford to see what happens. This is a team trying to finally get it right. And Shedeur Sanders, he might just be the guy to do it. So, let him cook, let him compete. Let's see what happens. And if he earns it, don't hold him back. Let him take it. Because if you're really about winning, and not about protecting egos or draft positions, then that's what you gotta do. The kid deserves his shot. Now listen, out of all the quarterbacks in that room during OTAs, Shedeur is the only one who hasn't taken a single first-team rep. Not one. And that's not something I'm just making up. You can go back and look at it. Everyone else, they've had their shot with the ones. But Shedeur, nada. And my question is simple. Why? Why is it that they keep acting like this is some open competition, but the reps don't reflect that? Why is it that people are out here giving us lip service about evaluating everyone fairly, but Shedeur hasn't been given the same platform as the other guys? It's like they're scared to say what's really going on. Are they worried about blowback? Are they worried that if they come out and admit Shedeur isn't getting those reps, fans are gonna riot? Is it some weird attempt to manage expectations or protect egos? Because let's be real, there's a whole lot of smoke and mirrors going on. And it feels like folks are playing games. I don't get it. And I've been sitting here thinking, why can't anyone just keep it real about Shedeur Sanders? Like, if this is an open QB battle, then open it up. Don't tell me one thing and show me another. If Dylan Gabriel's getting first-team reps in OTAs, then Shedeur should be in there too. If it's a fair fight, then fight fair. But don't insult our intelligence. Don't tell the fans, oh, Shedeur's doing great, and then keep him running exclusively with the 2s and 3s. That's not keeping it real. So, please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your support. And honestly, it feels like deja vu. I had this same feeling during the draft. All that talk leading up to it, all the chatter, teams saying, Shadur's a high-character guy, polished, poised, a leader, did everything right in the process. All that. But then when the draft actually happened, crickets. Nobody pulled the trigger, so you needed a backup quarterback. Cooper Rush went to Baltimore, you knew that. And still you passed on Shadur. Even in the third round, and Mike Tomlin, you needed a quarterback, not just a clipboard holder. And you drafted Will Howard in the sixth round instead? Bro, Shadur was right there one round earlier. If you truly believed he was a first or second round talent, like some folks were claiming behind closed doors, then that was the steal of the draft. So what happened? That's what makes this whole thing so frustrating to me. It's not just about what's being said, it's about what's not being done. If you believe in the kid, give him the same opportunities. I don't want to hear that he's a leader off the field if you won't even give him a real shot on the field. That's where it counts. Now, I understand the draft process is one thing and OTAs are another. I get that. During the draft, you're still judging players off tape. You're watching film. You're comparing college stats. Body language, combined numbers, it's all projections. And college tape? Man, college tape can make almost anybody look good. I've seen guys who looked like the next Aaron Rodgers on Saturdays, who couldn't make a throw on Sunday. But this is different. Now we're all in the same building. You've got Shadur in the same meeting rooms as Kenny Pickett. Same practice field as Dylan Gabriel. Same facility as Joe Flacco. We're not guessing anymore. We're watching it happen in real time. I'm watching how Shadur throws. I'm watching his mechanics, his footwork, how fast he processes the playbook. I'm seeing how he reacts under pressure, how quickly he adjusts after a bad throw. I'm watching him lead the guys, talk in the huddle, make checks at the line. I see that stuff, and if I see it, the coaches see it too. And that's why I keep going back to this point. If it's really open competition, let's stop pretending. Let Shadur get first-team reps. I don't care if it's just one series, here and there. He needs those reps to prove himself. And I know some people will say, oh, it's early, or he's just a rookie. Yeah, I've heard that. But let me remind y'all, training camp comes fast. So if Shadur ain't getting real work now, when exactly is it supposed to happen? August? September? That's too late. You blink, and the roster's already set. And let's be clear about something else. Most of these rosters, they're not wide open. Teams say there's competition, but I've talked to coaches. Out of the 53 spots, like 39 to 42 are already spoken for before camp even starts. There's only 11 to 14 guys actually fighting for their lives out there. The rest is all optics, so if Shadur is gonna make a move, it has to start now. I need to see him getting at least some second teamwork when camp opens. I can't be sitting here in the middle of August still wondering why he hasn't gotten a look. Now, to be fair, yes, in OTAs they do want the rookies to take it slow, learn the system, get the playbook down. That's why they're usually with the backups. Even the big-name rookies. Cam Ward? Same thing. He was rotating in with the backups too, even though he's a high pick. That's standard. But what separates the real contenders is what happens after that. You go through OTAs, and then you start to see guys move up. Oh wow, they bumped him to the twos. He's getting more snaps now. That's when you know they're evaluating seriously. And I'll say this, Shadur isn't just some developmental guy. This ain't just some fifth-round pick with no expectations. We're not talking about a guy just trying to sneak on the practice squad. We're talking about a guy who could genuinely be better than some of the dudes ahead of him. And I don't say that lightly. This isn't just some underdog story. This is a guy who walked into the room and immediately looked like he belonged. He's got composure. He's got the leadership. He's got the arm. He's already earned the respect of guys who've been in the league for years. So my only fear is this. They won't actually give him the opportunity. Not because he doesn't deserve it. Not because he's not ready. But because politics and perception are still running the show. And if that's the case, then that's not fair to him. Anyway, I'll leave it at that for now. But trust me, I'll be watching when camp starts. Because if Sheeter gets the real reps, the real chance to shine, I think we're all going to be surprised by what happens. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hit that subscribe button if you're riding with me on this one, and drop a comment below. Do you think Shedeur should be getting first-team reps? Or are you buying what the coaches are selling right now? Let me know. I'll see y'all next time.